Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another part of why we play the game. Today, it occurred to me, actually it occurred to me a couple of days ago, but it occurred to me I ought to get this video out there. But it occurred to me that we are in the midst of a pretty fair amount of great game masters, dungeon masters, whatever you want to call them. I'm always going to stick to GM or Dungeon Master, even if we're playing frickin' Traveler. That's just me. I'm old school. Even when we were playing games like Palladium, we called it D for short. That's just old habits die hard. And I don't mean necessarily the GMs that you probably think I'm referring to. While those guys all qualify, Rick and guys like that, Fritz and some of the other gamers or GMs that I get to game with. But I'm talking about our players. We all started somewhere, and it's usually as a player, even if, like, for me, that one time I played and I'm like, dang, I can do better than this in my sleep. I'm taking over, and I want us all to start recruiting new GMs, because I don't know about you, but I've had in the last almost a year now, just shy of a year, had the opportunity to play for the first time as a player in 25 plus years. I've been the eternal GM since I was 12, 13 years old. I forget exactly when. I'm getting old, obviously. But we probably know somebody out there that would make a great GM. They're going to stumble at first, and they're not going to, have it all down, and they're going to make some mistakes. But we all did that, and we're still doing it. We're all making mistakes. Nobody's perfect, except my son, but he's a teenager. You know how that goes. But I bet you know somebody out there that would make a great GM and give you the opportunity to more or less do a couple of things at once. One, bring someone into the next level of gaming, because let's face it, being a great player isn't the same as being a great GM. You got to be a great player to be a great GM, if you know what I mean. Sure, there's the outliers, but for the most part, if you're not a great player, you probably don't have it in you to be a great GM. But then again, I could be wrong. But let's go out there and look amongst ourselves and see if there's somebody out there we can, encourage to pick up the torch and give us, unselfishly, a break at GMing. Give us a chance to teach somebody new, because they're going to go out and find new players. Probably more to their skill level. But just like chainmail, we've got a lot of circles in our orbit, and we touch a bunch of circles, and those circles touch other circles, and maybe out there we can grow this big old family of ours until it encompasses the entire earth, and everybody's role playing, and the world will be a better place, and we'll finally have peace on earth, blah blah blah. Go out there and encourage somebody this year to be the next great GM. They're not going to start out great. They're not going to start out perfect, but they're going to start. And that's the point. I know myself right now, I can think of a couple of people that are really good players and would make really good GMs, and, give us GMs a little break. Maybe even, hand them an old copy of a DMG or some book like that you'd really like to play, but you're too busy or whatever to run a campaign, but you'd love to play in that game. I can think of a couple of games I've got here that I want to play, but I don't want a DM. You know what I mean, guys? I've got 300 plus role-playing games in my collection, and I just ordered another one today. Can you believe it? But it's from a good guy that it just happens to go with something I recently discovered I wanted to do. Me and the boy really are into a certain thing, and we want to try it out. And goes along with some of the minis that we don't get to use that often. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance. It comes highly recommended. Thank you, Shawner. I think you know who I'm talking about. And this is going to be a great new year. But what better way to improve upon what's already been, despite the nonsense of the last couple of weeks that really doesn't need to affect anybody but a certain kind of person, and most of us aren't that certain kind of person, if you know what I mean. Um, and let's make it a year to remember. We have it's only like what, the 19th or the 18th, or I don't look at calendars. It's irrelevant when you're retired, especially when you're retired as long as I've been. The days all just run together. But I digress. Find a friend out there, hand them a book, or loan them a book. You might as well give it to them, because you'll never see it again. If they pick up the torch and decide to carry on and start breaking out that graph paper, rolling up those encounters, drawing up those maps, the whole bit. Remember what it was like when you did your very first dungeon or your very first adventure. Remember all of that excitement and anticipation and joy and that little bit of fear that was in there. What if you do it wrong? What if you make a mistake and nobody ever noticed, nobody ever cared, because they were too happy to just get to sit down at a table, whether it's virtual or not, it really doesn't matter. And get a little bit of that nostalgia flowing again, and start creating nostalgia for the future. Pachow. Let's see what we can do, okay, guys? I know you guys all know somebody you'd love to be at their table behind the other side of the DM shield or screen. I think you'll be more than pleasantly surprised. And if you've got any recommendations of people out there you'd like to see, Dungeon Master, feel free to leave it in the comment section, or hook me up with them on Discord. You guys know where to find me. And until then, happy trails.